This is GPT Bros Media. Every week on Monday, we publish a new video on all the AI Weekly news that you should know about. So here's the AI Weekly rundown from June 17 to June 23. Let's begin. Now, one of the biggest announcements in this week in the world of AI was Meta's VoiceBox. So VoiceBox basically is this all-in-one generation speech AI model that was created by Meta. And this AI model, well, it can perform a lot of tasks. Not only can it generate audio, but it is also able to do a lot of things as well. For example, it can do text-to-speech in 6 different languages. Noise removal is another feature that it is able to do. Content editing, cross-lingual style transfer can also be done. And another key feature is diverse sample generation. One of the biggest limitations in the other voice synthesizers that we have, that they need to be prepared expressly for that certain task. So VoiceBox is actually built upon the flow matching model, which is Meta's latest advancement in non-auto-regressive generative models. It can highly learn a non-deterministic mapping between text and speech. So as you can look in this figure, it's basically the basic architecture of the VoiceBox model, and it's actually using the flow matching algorithm to actually do that. Next up is OpenLLaMa. So as you know, Llama is basically this large language model that is owned by Meta. So OpenLLaMa is basically this open source version of Llama. Now, obviously, the developers who are maintaining the repository, they have a permission to actually do that. So it's a licensed open source reproduction of the original Llama model, and it's actually trained on the red pajama dataset. Now, the reproduction includes 3 choices. So there's the 3B, 7B, and 13B. All of them are trained on 1 trillion tokens. So yeah, that's a big number. And so they offer PyTorch and JAX weights for the pre-trained OpenLLaMa models as well. And it also gives you the evaluation results and how that specific model compared with the other OpenLLaMa models as well. So that's a win. That's a win-win, in fact. Another big tool that has been released now, it's called GPT Engineer, and it can actually create a whole code base for you. All you need to do is give it a text prompt and it will do that. You specify what you want to build. It asks for clarification as to what you're specifically you're wanting to build, and then it builds it. Now, it is open source. It generates all the technical specifications. It writes all the necessary code. So the same coding project that takes you, I don't know, a few hours will now take you a few minutes, all because of GPT Engineer. And another great thing is, it also makes it easy to add your own reasoning steps, modify and experiment. In the world of corporate AI, Microsoft has announced Azure OpenAI service. This feature basically lets you unlock the power of GPT and GPT-4 models with your own data, the data that is in your Azure cloud. It includes data interaction and analysis. Also, it offers enhanced accuracy, speed, comparison parameters, everything. So some key use cases that Microsoft told in their preview, for example, you have this document stored in your cloud. It can actually read that entirely and then give insights as to what is in the document. So it can be used very quickly in the legal and financial teams. You can also harvest valuable consumer insights from the documents, monetize data access, and gain deep industry and competitor insights, which is very important. It's basically this enterprise version of the OpenAI model. So it will be used by businesses, and Microsoft is opening up a new B2B, a new B2B pathway for the business. Now, Google DeepMind. DeepMind was a separate company before, but then Google acquired them. So Google DeepMind, they have created this AI model that's called Robocat. And what it can do is at the same time, it can sort of control different multiple robotic arms and train them to be used, to do stuff, to pick up objects, to move them. And the best part is it just needs 100 demonstrations to learn everything. Once it has that basic understanding of, what it needs to do, then it creates its own training data. Now, you imagine that. In typical machine learning, you have to provide the model with training data, pre-process it, and then give it to the model. Robocat, which is this Google DeepMind model, and DeepMind is famous for doing things like this. They're working on artificial general intelligence, which is still far from today, but you can see a little glimpse of that vision in every single project that they pursue. So anyway, that's Robocat for you. Now, in the world of LLMs, large language models, the biggest problem is the bottlenecking. And that bottlenecking by what? Memory. So a new LLM, it's called vLLM. So the vLLM addresses this big problem with paged attention, which is a novel attention algorithm, which brings the classic idea of operating systems, virtualization, and paging to actually serve that to the LLM needs. Because of the vLLMs, it was seen that it was able to perform 24 times better than Hugging Face transformers that are like one of the most state-of-the-art models out there. Another news from the world of companies and IT, Dropbox, which is this, famous file sharing service. Dropbox has actually dropped out two things in the world of AI. One is called Dropbox Dash, and the other is Dropbox AI. Now, they recently announced this in a video, a very famous one that came a few days ago, and they have created these to enhance productivity and to and to improve the knowledge work. Now, as I told you about the enterprise thing, Azure OpenAI service, it is somehow like that only. This thing, Dropbox AI tools. What it does is it creates a personalized view of your Dropbox. And the AI helps you to understand, what files you have. So, Dropbox Dash is just a search. It's sort of like a search engine. It's this search tool which utilizes AI to do, as I told you, search anything you want in your Dropbox. So it has some amazing potential. It has amazing potential. Let's see where it goes. From the world of development, there is something that's just recently appeared on the internet. It's called AI Workbook. So what AI Workbook does, it's basically a notebook interface where you can do anything with any model out there, open source model. It's like you have this single workspace to work with text, audio, images, videos. You could talk about GPT models, DALL-E models, Llama models, then there's stable diffusion models. You can do all of the stuff, all of the LLM, image, media, audio stuff in a single place. So that will help you build powerful applications and workflows in a single environment. So Google has announced another great thing in the world of AI. It's called Google AudioPaLM. What it does is it fuses the PaLM2 model and the AudioPaLM. So both the different things, they fuse it into one. And what it does is it can understand and create spoken language, interchangeably. It can not only translate what you're saying, transcribe stuff, but also it can take your voice and sort of retain your identities, your speech identity and the tone of voice that you're using.
तब ये विश्वास करना भी मुश्किल था कि हम इतनी तरक्की कर लेंगे.
Do you remember when we started working on this project?
Plus, it learns from huge amounts of text data. As I said, the AudioPaLM part, the PaLM part, the language model part. So it does this between text and audio to text interchangeably. Apart from that, it can also convert speech to text. And that's just amazing stuff. Another big announcement in the world of image generation in AI, Stability AI, which is this famous company that created the stable diffusion models that we all have heard of, the beautiful images, the beautiful generated images that we see everywhere. They have announced SDXL 0.9, which is basically the successor of the Stability Diffusion XL model. This would be the 0.9 model because it's still it's still in beta mode. And what they've seen is the SDXL 0.9. It performs much better than its predecessor. It has better defining tones in the image that it generated. It has more details. It has improved image composition. So that's something. It's a great achievement. Now, compared to the previous beta version, the XL version, it utilizes more parameters and it is run on 2 clip models, including one of the largest open clip models to be trained till date. So it has more processing power because of that and a high resolution of 1024 cross 1024. So it's 1K quality at least. Mosaic ML's GPT-30B has overtaken GPT-3 model. So these two models were basically competing in 9 in-context learning tasks, and we found out that the GPT-30B model performed much better than GPT-3 models. So MPT is the Mosaic pre-trained transformers. If you compare GPT-30B to other LLMs, it has the following features. It has an 8,000 token context window, which can be further extended via fine-tuning. It has efficient inference plus training via flash attention, which is another attention policy. An attention algorithm. So that is all for now. That was a major news for this week. Apart from our AI weekly news on every Monday, we are also going to release a lot of tutorials, a lot of, reviews of the tools that are present out there in the world of AI. We have got you. Because we are going to cover everything and anything here. We want to help you out, understand, what tools are out there, what can help you, what tutorials you can learn to become a better developer, get good jobs, and basically build some amazing stuff. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.